These are the answers and the times you'll find them in the listening. The listening track I've taken the timings from is available on the website link now above my head. The track number for this exercise is also now above my head. To explain why the answers are the answers, I'll tell you the part of the listening which directly relates to the answer. Hopefully, you'll very quickly see how the vocabulary in the question connects to the clips from the listening, so make sure you've got your course book open at the right page now. I'm going to be moving through the questions quickly, so please pause the video and rewind it as many times as you wish to make sure you understand exactly what I'm talking about. If, however, you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch through the contact form. Okay, let's go. For question 1, the answer is G, the sense of claustrophobia, because speaker 1 says, you can feel pretty hemmed in such a small place, and that can be too much at times. Speaker 1 is of course talking about feeling uncomfortable in a small space, which is of course what claustrophobia is. For question 2, the answer is A, feeling unsafe, because speaker 2 says, I start to imagine every creak and groan from the rafters is actually someone lurking, in other words hiding, in one of the other rooms. For question 3, the answer is D, the uninspiring view, because speaker 3 says, I must admit here we're walled in by other buildings on all sides, and that gets to me sometimes. The context here is that because the speaker sees nothing but walls, it upsets or annoys the speaker. For question 4, the answer is E, the lack of space for preparing meals, because speaker 4 says, the kitchenette is so tiny there's barely room to chop a carrot. For question 5, the answer is H, the noise from other people living in the building, because speaker 5 says, our neighbour Tom has set up a gym and I can hear him working out, which gets on my nerves at times. For question 6, the answer is D, spending less time on chores, because speaker 1 says, the payoff is that there's less and less clutter and a lot less dusting and tidying to do. For question 7, the answer is C, the freedom to furnish the home without limitations, because speaker 2 says, it's glorious to have so much space after years of living in pokey flats. The context being that she has so much more space, it's almost as if it's without limits. For question 8, the answer is B, entertainment facilities nearby, because speaker 3 says, there's a cinema, some rather pleasant cafes, and even a really great arts centre with a theatre where they show excellent movies. If we lived out of town, we'd both really miss all that. For question 9, the answer is F, social contact with those living nearby, because speaker 4 says, a lot of my neighbours hang out there in the mornings as well, so I've got to know them. There's a real sense of community here. For question 10, the answer is G, being able to make good use of the entire space, because speaker 5 says, it's not all cramped here, but there's no excess either. The context being that all the space is being adequately used and that there's no excess, in other words there's not too much extra space, but it's also not too small.